I regard myself as a soldier, though a soldier of peace.
Free soldier.
Free soldier.
Free soldier.
Free soldier.
Free soldier.
Free soldier.
A guy named Free Soldier.
Hey, what's up, peoples? This is Free Soldier again, just getting back to you. I got a couple things to handle in this video. The first thing I want to do is introduce a new segment that I'm going to be doing on a periodical basis, and it's going to be introducing you guys to books that I am reading or have read. And right now, the book that I just finished reading, maybe about last week or 2 weeks ago, was Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington. And it's a really inspiring tale. It's an autobiography of Booker T. Washington and how he went from being a slave as a boy with no possessions, no nothing, to acquiring an education and then founding the Tuskegee Institute, and going on to be one of the most prominent figures in history, in American history. And there's all kinds of great inspirational stories in here for anybody that's interested in the history of the United States or the history of African Americans, or to learn more about slavery or colonial slavery. Okay. Along with that, I want to introduce you guys to Anarchy Clayman. This channel, I was really glad to stumble upon it. He subscribed to me, and he has some really amazing animations that he does with clay, and he's tackled some really hard subjects to tackle, but he uses clay to do it. And I'm just going to cut to a clip right now.
In 2003, the mostly Arab government of Sudan was confronted by African villagers and farmers from Darfur, Western Sudan. The rebel movement of the Sudanese Liberation Army was protesting critical shortages brought on by its government. The Sudanese government's reaction was to hire nomad Arabs called Janjaweed, arm them and train them, and send them out to kill all the rebels and farmers. Estimates as high as 450,000 humans have been killed. 2.5 million are homeless. 3.5 million is starvation.
Yeah, so check that out. Give him some comments. I'm going to provide a link for you guys. Give him some comments. Subscribe to him if you want to see more like that. He puts out a video once a month, about, give or take a little, and it's some really amazing stuff. So I'll let him know how amazing you think it is, if you do think so, and give him the support that he deserves. Okay. I'm also, right now, I'm going to continue to discuss the idea of nonviolence, because some things have come up. I want to first discuss the idea of road rage, and the idea that people have all this pent-up anger built inside of them, and how do they express their anger, and how do they let it out, and why do they let it out in certain situations when they say express road rage, or beat their wives, beat their husbands, or beat their dogs, and why they take such abuse, whether it's mental or physical abuse in other situations, but they just lash out. Why would somebody do that? And I want to discuss a personal story of my neighbor, who I have known him maybe 6 months or so. Little intervals here and there, we would talk, and he seemed like a very friendly person, very loving, gentle person. And then I saw him one day. He didn't see me watching him, but he was in traffic, yelling and screaming. He got out of his car, pounded on his truck, screaming, just like belligerent, and I was shocked. And this is not the first time that I've seen somebody that I never expected that kind of reaction out of. But it would happen during driving, during traffic. And it brings out the idea of why. Why is this pent up anger? It's like a pressure cooker. You release the valve and it just happens to be while you're driving in 5 o'clock traffic. You just hit that release valve and all that steam unloads. And why is that? Why do people allow the steam to pile up? And I don't know. And I think they think these thoughts of violent, aggressive thoughts throughout the day, but they never let it out. And then once they get in their car, they feel like it's their own little private, like sanctuary where they can just be whatever. And that's what they choose to be, is violent, aggressive. And I guess it's healthy in a way because they've been feeling that violent aggression throughout the day or throughout the week or throughout the month, throughout the year. And bam, just the fuse was lit and the bomb explodes in their face. But I think it would be healthier just to let the gunpowder fall through the screen every time. And just when something happens, just let it blow in the wind. Just adios. And I think that's a little healthier than letting it pile up and pile it up until it's compounded inside of you, where you explode in the middle of traffic, where who cares if somebody cuts you off? Who cares if there's a red light or a flat tire or a traffic jam? Big deal. You know, like, yeah, you're going to be late, but we're late for everything. We are late. Look at our evolutionary scale. We're late. Like, we still haven't mastered all this stuff. We're late. And I think it's not that big of a deal. We're going to be on time sometime, you know? So, I don't know. It's just hard to understand why people would react that way. And I think it's worth looking into. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect and that I don't experience those things. But usually whenever I get honked at or something, and I ride a bicycle, I don't drive a car. When I get honked at, usually I feel that initial, like, it's almost like being punched. I feel that initial blow, and then I'm like, oh, what the hell? And then I just realize, hey, it's not that big of a deal. I'm still alive, I'm still moving, I'm still breathing. The universe is still kicking, you know, and there's new experiences in my horizon, so let it go. And that's usually how I look at those situations. And sometimes that punch or taking of the punch lasts a little longer, where I lose my wind and it takes me a while to catch my breath. But usually it winds up that everything's all right. I've got new things on the horizon, and that's how I handle those situations. And most aggressive situations it's not that big of a deal, you know. It's gonna blow over. It's a little storm, and there's better things on the horizon. So I'm gonna worry about that stuff, and I'm not worried about the storm, you know. So I want to hear what you guys think, and check out Anarchy Claimant or Booker T. Washington, and let me know what you think about those as well. And until next time, this is freesouljah. Keep the peace.